Hi everyone! Do you ever have a lot of leftover veggies in your fridge that you want to use up? Watch me take my leftovers, or my vegetables that were about to go bad, and turn them into a sweet potato hash. Let's do it. So here's my zucchini that I'm going to slice up in my sweet potato. I'm going to cut them probably about a ½ inch, maybe a little bit more, probably an inch. If you want to know what's an inch, it's usually the first line on your thumb. That's an inch. So if somebody says a ½ inch, just think of half that area. But I'll probably cut into an inch or a ½ inch. But I'm just keeping the potatoes in mind because the potatoes are a little bit more dense and they'll take a little bit longer to cook. So I want to cut them at about the same size so that they'll cook around the same time. So I'm thinking probably about an inch because these will probably take about 20 minutes. So I want this to cook in 20 minutes without falling apart. And I really like having zucchini and sweet potatoes and kind of sturdier vegetables or harder vegetables like that on hand because they last a lot longer than like a more delicate vegetable. So if you want, I can do a video on that, kind of what vegetables I like to buy because they last a longer time and it kind of gives me more time to use it. But let me get chopping. Hi everyone, so this is my vegetables that I've cut all up. You can see they're all about the same size. The zucchini is just a little bit bigger, probably double the size of the sweet potatoes because they'll take longer to break down. But I just wanted to come back to show you guys. So you can see it looks pretty okay right now, but I'm going to add in some onion. This is purple onion for flavor and for color. I think these colors together, the purple against the bright onion, or excuse me, against the bright sweet potato, those really look like a nice contrast. But I'm also going to add in some tomatoes. And I think just adding in those two things, those pops of color, really add to the dimension of the food that you're going to be eating, because you're going to be eating not only with your taste, but you're going to also be eating with your eyes. So keep that in mind when you make this too. Try to get an array of colors that you have, and I had these just laying around, so try to get what you have and use what you have and just put it together to see what looks nice to you. And I think that just looks so much better with the onion and with the tomato. And that's just two little things that you can add to make it a little bit more special looking. So I'm going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. And I'm just going to put enough oil so that it looks shiny. Everything should look nice and glistening. I haven't put it yet, but I'm going to put enough oil so it's shiny. But there shouldn't be like a pool of oil at the bottom of my pan. It should be just enough so you give it like a nice sheen. So I'll see you back when I do that. So I'm going to be using olive oil, but you don't have to use olive oil. You can use whatever oil you have on hand. And I'm not partial to any brand. They're all pretty much the same to me. So I'm just going to cover that. I don't want to put too much. And then I'm going to toss it around to see if I need more. Kind of bear on the side of less because you don't want it to have any like puddle of oil. You don't want the vegetables to fry, but you don't want them to dry out in the oven. So that looks pretty good to me. They're all shiny, maybe even a little bit too much, but that's okay. So they're all shiny, and I'm just going to add a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper, maybe even a ½ teaspoon of salt and a ½ teaspoon of pepper, just to see. And once they cook about halfway through, I can give them another taste and see if they need more salt and pepper. So I'm going to stick them in my hot oven now. So there it is. Here's our vegetables all done. I took them out of the oven and put them on a serving dish, or put them in a serving dish, and now I'll have them ready for the rest of the week. You can eat them for breakfast with maybe a fried egg on top, eat it for lunch or dinner with maybe some chicken or fish, or enjoy it however way you like, or whatever way you like, excuse me. But I hope you give it a try and use up some of the vegetables that you have in your fridge. Throw it together and add a potato and call it a hash. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.